Good morning. This video is a quick video to talk about your job searching, your application, and things related to that. Now, I talked to a few recruiters and so on and so forth, so I picked out some advice that they have given to me that I can pass on to you in terms of improving the likelihood of you getting at least an interview. So, if I can take a look at my notes. So, in terms of the CV, a lot of them mentioned that they would prefer that you have a short and clear CV that explains the role and what you did there. That basically means that they want to make sure that you avoid things like we. The same goes for interviews for that matter. You have to be very specific in saying what you have done as yourself. So you want to keep your portfolio link on top. You want to keep it project based if possible, so they can go read and see what you did on each project. Keep the known softwares you know on top. They seem to like to be able to see if you know the relevant softwares, so they can quickly then go into deeper into your CV. So be fast and clear of release game, if any. So if you have any experience or if you've done any modding or something of that sort, keep it somewhat clear and visible so they know you have the necessary experience. So for lighting artists specifically, you want to also, this is generally though, you want to keep your title in the CV clear. So if you are like say you are a game designer and a writer, you want to preferably pick one and make sure that they understand that you're looking for a job for one of them. And I guess in this case, I would also recommend that you keep that consistency clear in your LinkedIn and other places they look for the one specific job title that you look for. That's also what I normally do, even though I'm doing a lot of things, which you can see from my LinkedIn. In terms of when I'm doing specific job searching and so on, I always try and keep it to like a senior lighting artist. But it doesn't mean I'm not doing my entrepreneurship, it doesn't mean I'm doing a business, but I will normally keep it consistent across all social media. And they do check your social media presence and YouTube, but if it's too hard to look through everything and it's too complicated, it will make it very difficult for them to review it. So they will normally look for the CV and also the portfolio. But not a lot of people seem to be using cover letters, so they did recommend that it's a good idea to use a cover letter, especially if you're a junior. It seems to be a good idea to use that as an opportunity to explain why you want to work at the company, what you can offer, and kind of specifically what games you like that they have to kind of stand out a little bit. So you want to personalize and keep your CVs cover letters very short and concise, preferably a page. This is also very good if you're transitioning to a new role. You can explain why, right? So say if you're a 3D artist and you're moving over to a lighting artist, you can use that opportunity to explain why you're doing it and why this is beneficial to them, right? And obviously make sure again that you make a cover letter that is specifically for each company. Do not copy paste it. I normally keep like a default content on my cover letters whenever I choose to apply, and then I have at least 50% that's custom made for the companies. I do some research, find out okay, why am I applying to them, and then I kind of make sure it's clear that I have done the homework and it's genuine. That's very important that it's genuine. In terms of portfolio, let's say you're a junior 3D artist, it's a good idea to show range. So we're talking about modeling, animation, lighting, and everything. If you are a lighting artist, it's a good idea to show your inspiration so that people can see the source and how well you interpret it or use it as a reference. Show a few good pieces, so it's better to have 4 or 5 good pieces rather than 10, 20, 30. So don't be afraid to cut down and really just show the best pieces, because one bad piece will show you in a bad light basically. Um, you should be lighting, in terms of lighting artists, you should be lighting in real-time game engines if possible, and you should also show your thought process if possible. But it should be a choice for the recruiter or the people viewing it if they want to go deeper into it and see, okay, where are the lights and what's the workflow you used. And of course, I think it's also super important that you realize that there's so many people applying, and if it looks any close or any similarity to someone else, especially if you're a newly graduate, you have a harder time of standing out. So that means you want to make sure you have something different. So that's why it's a very good idea to do other things while you're at university to stand out, some extra projects, some extra curriculums, some extra modding, participating on projects, but also that when you do your work, maybe do it again for the portfolio and do it differently than your fellow students. I've seen it a lot that people are coming from like different academies online, CGMA, you name it, whatever we pick. They all tend to have the same source, right? So they do the same thing. So it's a good initial beginning. It's a bit easier for lighting artists because you can light it in a bit different mood. But generally speaking, you also want to add some spice into something that's really yours and not that easy to replicate because it's a creative idea rather than just the same scene as a lighting artist, but generally speaking as well. And the last was as a junior, especially networking is often the key. People say that they don't know a lot of people who actually end up getting a job through the automated forms online that you have to spend hours filling. They say that a lot of people get jobs because they have a polished presentation, a portfolio, they have a YouTube channel, they have something very unique application. So some people might have there was a disagreement on one of some of these things, mind you. So every company is different. The size of the company matters, and the recruiter is also it's a matter of opinion. So in terms of time, so if it's a big company, you might not want to make like a 30-minute game to that's designed as a CV and a cover. That might not be a good idea. Smaller companies though, that might maybe just get two for application. I don't know, go for it. It seemed that I was more likely that the person would be spending time doing it. So that is it. So if you want to know more, or if you need anything else, please leave a comment, ask questions, like, subscribe, I guess. So that's it. Hope it's useful. Thanks for watching.